biological sense whatsoever. No. But that is an incest taboo designed to protect a very exotic and different kind of family. There are some societies in which your biological brother or sister is actually living and part of a different family. But your fourth cousin is part of your family. And therefore that incest taboo is there not so much because of biology, but because of this vital social institution called the family. Okay. Functionalist explanations. Any questions about that? Yeah, I'm going through this one a little more quickly. You sure? Cool. Let's talk conflict theory. One word, conflict theory. What's the most important part of society according to conflict theory? What do you remember? Power. 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 Culture, according to conflict theories, reflects power. That is, those with power write the culture. On average, who is physically stronger, men or women? Men. It can depend, but on average. Are men on average larger than women? Do they have more muscle mass? Does testosterone aid in putting on large muscle mass? Do men have more testosterone than women? Okay, these are all biological facts. However, cross-culturally, what do we know? Who does most of the heavy lifting and carrying? Men or women? Women. Women. What? That makes no biological sense whatsoever. I mean, men are better at lifting and carrying heavy objects just because of the greater muscle mass. Yet the pattern cross-culturally is that women do most of the heavy lifting and carrying. It's very simple. How come?
Because women have no power and they've always been treated as property.
Exactly. Men have got the power and they get what they want. And if I'm writing the rules, you're carrying the heavy stuff. Power. Another contrast between biology and power. We now move into the PG-13 portion of the class. Who's hornier, men or women?
Men.
Men, on average. Now again, I know there's variety and there's horny women and not so horny men, but on average, men are hornier than women. However, cross-culturally, whose sexuality gets controlled? Women's. It's like in the Middle Ages, the knight goes off jousting on some crusade or something, leaving his damsel behind. Ever hear of something called a chastity belt? What's a chastity belt? It's a belt you wear if you are female. And what gets locked up? Your genitals? Yeah. How come? Because the knight is concerned his damsel is going to be doing the knight next door. Okay. And so he locks her up so she can't do it. Oh, but I'm not even done. Let's get a little more serious. Let's say you're really concerned about your damsel having sex with somebody else. Snip, snip, snip. Yeah, exactly. Where I'm going with this one? Female circumcision. Female circumcision. Are there cultures in which the little female child, what are they cutting off? Her clitoris. Without the clitoris, is she going to enjoy sex much? Nope. Let's take a wild guess. Who came up with this idea? A male or a female? Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't even make any sense. I mean, who's hornier? The guy or the woman? Him. Are we cutting off any of his body? No. Let's cut hers off. That reflects what? Not biology. What does it reflect? One word, starts with a P. Power. These are societies in which women are basically chattel of men. They are objects of ownership. They are no more than domestic slaves. Can you beat a slave? Sure you can. And have we beat women throughout the centuries? How about the practice of infanticide? That is the killing of little babies. That has actually been culturally fairly common, cross-culturally. The killing of little babies. But almost uniformly, it's almost always what kind of baby? Women. Because women don't have much value. You want a boy, and you got the third girl born. Whoops, we dropped her down the well. I'm not making it up. It reflects what? Power. Okay.
The whole general mutilation thing, isn't that an African culture thing?
It depends. Some African cultures, yeah. But there are very traditional cultures in which women have very, very low status in compared to men. And the key there is that low status, which reflects what? Power. Yeah.
So in modern day culture, the industrialized world, can't you say that all four play a role into the culture of their society?
Exactly. Exactly. Very good. Every single one of these plays a role in explaining their culture. It's complicated. Okay, any questions on this? We're going to move on. Now I'm going to jump to, unless there's any questions on this, I'm going to jump to, I think it's the last half of chapter 12, at least the portion that deals with religion. How come I'm doing that? I'm going from chapter 2 to chapter 12. What's with that? Religion is a great example of what?
Culture.
Culture. All this discussion has been is an abstract explanation for where it comes from, what it is. Let's take a look at one of the most important, and arguably the most important part of culture. Well, maybe stuff connected to the family. Religion. Let's do a little religion quiz. I have this stuff on some slides next. Before I start showing it to you, let's see what you know about religion. It has been argued that there are 5, possibly 6 major world religions. What are they?
Christianity.
Okay, hold on. I gotta keep up. I'm a little slow. Okay, so Christianity, very good.
Islamic.
Yep, Islam. That's right, that's one.
Facebook?
Pardon? Facebook. Very good.
Hinduism.
I like that. What else besides Facebook? What?
Hinduism.
Yeah, Buddhism. What?
Hinduism.
Hinduism, good. Judaism. Very good. And that's the last one. Very good. And we'll put a parentheses around this one. Yeah, that's it. Good. Very good. Okay. The reason I put a parentheses around Confucianism is the natural religion of what country?
China.
China. And the reason the parentheses is there is ever since the communist revolution in China, Mao taking over, religion has been repressed. Officially, China is an atheist state. They don't believe in God, and they suppress religion. Now, recently, they've liberalized that. And even when they repressed it, did Confucianism, their religion, still survive? Yes. But it's hard to tell exactly how many people were following it because of the repression. But we suspect, that people continue to follow that because we know the importance of religion to people. So we'll put it in parentheses just because we can't sort of count it. We expect anything that a large percentage of people do in China is going to be a big deal. Because about 1 out of every 5 human beings on Earth is Chinese. There's a lot of people in China. Yeah.
So how many people are Confucians?
I don't know. We don't know.
More than Judaism, I'm guessing?
Yeah, more
So
than Judaism.
is that in order?
No, it's no order whatsoever. It's the order that you guys listed it.
Okay.
It's just, But this is probably the smallest.
Yes, 30 million.
Yeah.
What about like the other ones, like not the big ones, but the smaller ones, like Wiccan, pagan, agnostic, atheist?
No, they're not religious. The last 2 are not religious. And we'll talk about why atheism is not a religion, even though they may have strong beliefs.
Well, I'm not saying like they're religion, but I'm just saying like what
Attitudes towards, what I asked were the major religions. There's hundreds of other minor religions, and each one of these has large numbers of variants on them. Christianity, how many different kinds of Christianity are there?
Evangelical.
Oh my God, just how many different kinds of Protestantism are there? What day is this? Because Protestant keeps changing. Now, with Catholic Church, it pretty much stays the same. But this includes Catholicism, Protestantism, and 1,000 different varieties of Protestantism, and Greek Orthodox, and Russian Orthodox. And, it just goes on and on. Okay. Let's just start some asking questions about this. Which one of those is the largest of the major world religions?
Islam.
Christianity. Now, Christianity is the largest, if you include all varieties that I just outlined, just mentioned. Okay, what country has the most Christians in it?
Russia. Italy. Brazil.
The U.S.
You're close. No one's mentioned it yet. Nope. Brazil's number 2.
Is it percentage? Are you doing percentage-wise or total number?
Total number.
Okay.
I'm doing total number, not percentage. Because then, very small countries, they're sitting in it. United States. United States has more Christians than any. Did you say it? What? You said it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. United States has the largest number of Christians of any country on earth. Yeah. Now, Brazil is coming up on the outside because the American population is growing fairly slowly, largely as a result of immigration. But Brazil's population is growing fairly rapidly. And sometime within the next half century, Brazil would probably replace the United States in size. And at that point, since Brazil is overwhelmingly Christian, particularly what kind of Christianity? Catholicism. They will become, it currently is the country with the largest number of Catholics. Many people, I had that same thing said in another class. People said, oh, Brazil has the largest number of Catholics. That's true, but not yet of Christians. But it probably will because of the growing size of Brazil. Okay, good. Christianity is the largest of the major world religions. Which one is the fastest growing? Islam, yeah. Islam is growing more quickly than any other major religion. It's pushing out of the indigenous areas of Islam in the Middle East into North Africa, South Africa. It's moving through, and even there's a large growth of Muslims here in the United States. Yeah,
Can you attribute that
particularly here in East County.
Can you attribute Islam's growth to our fear of Islamic terrorists coming into America?
No, you can do it the other way around, though.
As a general thing, can you say that Christians are scared of Islam taking over their country and then basically overthrowing Christianity beliefs?
Well, overthrowing may be too harsh a word, but what we know is that there is a great tendency towards what's called ethnocentrism. That people tend to assume, what's the best culture on earth? What's the simplest answer to that?
Ours.
Mine. What's the one true God? Mine. And some of this stuff is silly. It's true. Here in East County, here at the school, even since I've been around at the school, big change on campus. Boy, there's a large number of Muslims. You walk across campus. These days, I was just thinking that yesterday I was walking across campus. You're used to English and Spanish, but you hear a lot of Arabic being spoken on campus. That's a big change. And the first response for an awful lot of people to a change is what? The same thing of a 3-year-old. Have some ice cream. I don't want it. Have you ever had it before? No. I don't like it. If you don't know it, you don't like it. And they're not like me. I don't like them. The 3-year-old response. Now, it's complicated in places like Europe. Of course, there has been acts of terrorism.